بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now, there is one more option you can add, kind of animations. Like if you see one of my presentation here, this is kind of animated one where you have a background image, and on the top of it, I have added some arrows and some text boxes. So, but I want that to be displayed the way I explained, parallelly along with that. Okay, so let me maybe whatever I'm explaining you may not be able to understand, but I'll just give a quick presentation of the animation with some text, topic related. So it's irrelevant to you, but I just wanted you to understand the way I speak or the way I explain, and parallelly how I'm going to use the animation. So this topic is both based on stateful packet inspection. It means whenever the packet goes outside on the internet, return traffic is recorded by the product, that is firewall. So it's something like this. So whenever the user sends a traffic onto the internet, that's what the term which I use. So you can see visually, I'm using the arrow, which also represents the same thing. And it goes on the internet. And when the firewall has to check whether it is a returning traffic or whether it is a originating traffic. So if the traffic is originating outside, like hacker, someone trying to send some traffic from the internet, it should be blocked. And if it is the actual return packet, actual request what you have sent, that should be forwarded. So the forwarded one, I used a green color, and the blocked one, I used a red color. This symbol, these colors indications. So how to do this? So what I'll do is I'll copy the same into our presentation. Let me quickly take a new slide. Control M is the shortcut I used. Most of the time you don't see I'm using the cursor, but I use mostly I prefer shortcuts. So I use shortcuts. So Control M is to insert a new slide. Whichever the slide you select, the next it will create a new slide. So I selected slide 3. It has created a new presentation in the slide 4. So like that, wherever you want, you can add your slide anywhere in between your presentations. So let's quickly add this heading. I'll copy paste. And you can see, even though I have copied here, it comes underlined because of the effects which I explained yesterday, the slide master option, because of that. Okay, so let's try to do this. So what I'll do is already these animations are added here. I'll remove them. So there is a tab option called animations on the top. Now what I want is, I want this. Now already I showed you, the copy image. I drag and drop from the internet. Or this is not from the internet. I created with using a separate software again. There is one software called Concept Draw, which I use for network diagram documentations. Of course, that is the image. That's okay. And the other one, you can just say this is the image, and we already seen how to create the text box and how to create this symbol. Even this symbol is also present here. If you go to insert shapes, there will be X mark somewhere. You have to select that. X marks nothing but equation shapes. This one I have used. That's how I've used, and change the colors and the sizes. So now there is no animation. If you just use a full screen, there's no animation. Again, for full screen, Shift plus F5. That's what I have used, the shortcut. Normal F5 will show you presentations from the beginning. Shift plus F5 will show you the current presentation in a full screen. So if you see, there's no animation effects here. So what I want is, I want the animation effects to go as the way I present. Because normally we can even draw. That is one option. I can even explain this way, where I can say, okay, if the traffic goes from here, and then when the packet is coming back, return traffic. So if you can add animations, that's something kind of good. Few basic animations. So what I'll do is, I'll first select these 2 arrows, and I want to animate that first. You need to know the order, very important. So the order is, the purple one should come first. Go to animation, select whatever the animation you want. If you move around, you will find how it goes. If you just select, so I'm not explaining how they look. You just try it out. I rarely use other options. I use the simple fade option, fade, appear, the simple ones, just like they appear, that's it. That's the first option. And then return traffic, the green one should be the second. So select using a shift button. I have used shift button and then click. So if you see here, I have selected all the three RS, select all, only those three, and the same fade option. So if I see the full screen, now you can see this is the first. When I press arrow key, this is the first. I can also go back, up arrow key to go back again. The down arrow key, up arrow key, again back. And if you want the next animation, then you need to use the down arrow key, which again shows you the next one. So while you are doing this, again, you should know the controls. So basically, the way you deliver, you know how to deliver these things, but you just need to have interaction with the screen, with the keyboard. These things you just need to link with each other. So similar way, I'll select these three and apply the animation. So you can see now the first animation, and then the second animation, and the third animation. So in case you added the animation, if you want to reorder, then you don't need to remove. I normally remove and do it in case if there is any confusion. But if you want to reorder, then you need to go to the animation tabs. And from the animation here, you will have an option called animation pane on the top right side. And here you will see the options you have selected. You can just select and drag them to the bottom wherever you want. Of course, I want here, but you have to select multiple. I want to move these three. So use the control button and select, or select all the three and then move them to the downside. But this is a little bit tricky. So you have to select all. Did I select all? And then I need to so I want to move this one, but it just moves. I think it moved. Let me see the order. I think the order has changed. Now I can see the second one comes first and the first one comes second. And then the third one I did not reorder. So it's the same thing. So this way, in case if you miss anything or if you are adding something in the future, but you want that to be comes in between, then you can do these things. So the default settings will be on click, which is something I don't change. But there are some options where you can even set the timings. After this many seconds, it should automatically come. But I never use that and I don't recommend, because you have to also calculate the time when that should be coming. So basically, when you can control the animation with your keys, then you don't need to set the timing. So there are plenty of other options, advanced. I never use them, but you can use if you want. So if you have already know MS Office, you might be aware of all these options. But still, I'm just trying to show you how you can integrate this with your presentations or how I do normally.